Are you showing your belly button in your profile picture?
Is that bad?
Nah, I'm just,
It's terrible.
do you like your belly button?
I think it's a 5 out of 10 belly button.
Yeah, respect,
Let's hope they change the name quick.
What do you got to change it to?
Debate Ancaps. Or talk to Ancaps.
What are you debating about? I'm gonna get a tattoo. It's something.
There it goes. They
What are you
changed
gonna
it.
get, like a tattoo of?
I'm gonna get a Buddhist quote all the way wrapped around my torso, except I'm gonna have my entire chest, stomach, and back done in like a bunch of quotes. Spiraling
Is it gonna
down.
be like one of those quotes like, give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I'll spend the first full gooning?
It's gonna say I'm gay repetitively over and over again.
They changed the
Thought it
room
was
to
funny.
debate. I talked to Ancaps live right away. That's not bad.
What's Ancaps mean?
Anarcho-capitalist.
A what?
Anarcho-capitalist.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, anarchist?
It
Capitalist.
just means anarchism combined with free markets.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okey-doke. Isn't that already how it works?
No. We live under a state.
Isn't it kind of anarchy because people can still do whatever they want anyway?
No.
Well, they do. They go to jail though, but they still do it.
Yeah, but then the government will throw them in jail if they get caught.
Yeah, but they can still do it, even though the government's there punishing them.
Yeah, but we would like it if the government didn't do that.
How else would you stop, like, I don't know, pedophilia and shit?
You'd stop it through there's multiple ways, but we obviously believe in legal systems. We just don't believe in the government running or the government being responsible for justice. We can look at history about like Zomia or like medieval Iceland or whatever. Generally, our preferred way of performing justice would be through decentralized means of justice rather than a centralized means of justice.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like people deciding the justice, or?
Yeah, it can be town
It would
councils.
be private.
It can be it could be private municipalities.
Didn't they do that in the medieval times already? Didn't they already do that?
Certain like medieval Iceland did, but most of them didn't. But some of them did.
Would be cool if we kind of copied what they did. You know.
Oh, as in people got a copy of the crime and then they didn't.
No, I'm saying if we did what they did.
I have a crown right now. Yeah. No, I don't actually have a crown right now. Have you ever watched those I don't know, those videos of like animals saying Allah caught on camera?
It's
pretty interesting. Have you ever seen those videos of like animals screaming Allah caught on camera?
No, I haven't. No.
Do you think that's proof of Islam?
Animals screaming it like cats, or?
It can be cats, lions, tigers, dogs, bears. Oh, I'll put it up.
Allah?
Seen them saying hello because someone trained a husky to say hello. Seen that?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot my chat wasn't on.
Okay, I sent it to the side chat.
Why can't I post images in the side chat?
I think you have to be a certain level in the Discord. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do I do that? Do I just go to main chat and just spam? Not spam, but like talk?
I think so.
Really interact on the server.
I think so. I don't really know, honestly. I kind of just been hanging out here.
Yeah, you just proof in the side chat.
Yeah.
You just said Allah. I heard you say it.
Shalalala.
Has Allah in it?
Bismillah.
So you think about, what do you guys think about Islam?
I think salami and bacon. You see what I did there? You know how they say salam alaikum?
Yeah.
You change it to salami and bacon.
You know, if we just like put a wall of bacon around Gaza, I think that would solve, that whole conflict.
A wall of bacon?
So they can't touch it. They can't touch it.
What's
You know what you should
what's
do?
the bacon gonna do?
You should join the Marines or the SAS because you're American and you should go throw bacon at like Muslims just to see like if it offends them, like when they're in the middle of a gunfight. Yeah, or Jews. Just throw a bit of ham at them. Do you know what you could do to torture them? You could like make them eat ham. That'd be hilarious.
Aren't there like certain sects of Christianity that don't eat like pork either? Like there's certain Orientals that don't eat pork, I don't think. But
I have no idea.
It goes against God.
Well, the reason why Jews and Muslims don't eat bacon or don't eat pork is because of it's the Abrahamic religions typically prohibited it. I'll check.
They said because it was dirty, but I mean you can cook it pretty efficiently these days. It's not that dirty anymore.
Yeah. A lot of the time, pork is cleaner now than it was, in the past. It's not perfect, but, it's still, nonetheless, cleaner now. That YouTube shows, just animals saying Allah. It's proof, of Islam.
Wait, are you Islamic?
No. I just think it's, funny.
Me too. I think all religions are funny though.
Yeah.
I think Islam is the worst religion.
I think Mormonism is very... Yeah.
The guy banged a 6-year-old, didn't he? Like, it happened.
I think it was a 9-year-old, but, that's still quite bad.
Well, I mean, it's a joke within itself that they defend it, isn't it?
Yeah, and Muhammad also got, mounted by, certain people as well. It's like there's a text of the Quran. I'll try to find it now.
But mounted, as in someone did it to him?
Yeah, let me check.
So he's a sexual assault victim and then he passed it on. That sounds like a...
Yeah.
God?
Let's check. Well, Muhammad isn't God, he's like the messenger. Let me check now.
I'm waiting for this fucking
YouTube.
Zeppelin, man. It's taking forever. There it is.
Wait, what are you watching? Why can't I see it?
Who, me?
Yeah, I can't see.
I'm playing a video game.
Are you going to stream it?
I'm live streaming on the internet right now.
On Twitch?
YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and TikTok.
No, send your channel. I want to watch.
Sure.
What's good, KingSithis? What's good, man? Remember me?
No, not really. What's up?
Wait, correct me if I'm wrong. Are you not the guy who was streaming on YouTube?
Yeah, but I meet a lot of new people every day, so it's not. I don't always remember.
I'd like the link. I want to watch you play.
Yeah, give me a sec. I got you.
I was debating your friend. Taxation isn't real. I believe that's his name. On racism, and you said that it was making you uncomfortable. So we had to change the topic.
because I didn't want to talk about the racial stuff on the YouTube channel. Mm-hmm.
Right. I get you.
I didn't want to go down that path,
Yeah, man, I get it. The truth can be uncomfortable. I get it.
Well, for many people, it is.
True.
So what's up? What you been up to, man?
Not bad, man. I'm actually
says a proven racist.
Some arguments for God. I think that's like a position that I want to get a bit more familiar in. What about you, man?
I'm just playing World of Warcraft, waiting for people to come in to have a chat with about Ancap.
Ancap? What's Ancap?
Oh, anarcho-capitalist.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What do you think about it?
What, capitalism?
Ancaps.
Yeah, anarcho-capitalist.
Anarcho-capital? I'm not sure what that is.
It's just anarchism with free markets.
I'd probably favor if I could be presented with a hypothetical. One society is capitalistic, one society is communism, and it's guaranteed to work. And if what I know about them is true, I would probably go with the communist state, because I think things should be divided more equally amongst the people, rather than one person create something and dominate the entire, society.
But that is social. That is communism.
That is communism, right, or no?
Well, when one group or person,
no, he's just being hyperbolic, but he's just saying that that's still statism.
No, what I was saying is that one group or one person could basically controlling everything. That essentially is communism.
Like
capitalism is like the idea of the free exchange of goods and services between individuals. Like you own your own.
Okay, this is where me and Sithis disagree strongly.
Wait, I thought capitalism...
Where you disagree with me on
communism.
What do you disagree with me?
Communism was when things were divided equally amongst the masses, is it not?
Well,
no,
yes.
Communism... no.
Well, maybe. Depends.
No, have you read Marx? I'll explain. The Marxian definition of communism is a bit different. Communism, according to Marx, was just the end stage of human development. Was the end stage of human development, which
moneyless,
typically
stateless,
implied a post-scarce society. It was never a prescription. It was never a prescription. It was just a description, which is why it's very Hegelian.
Yeah, they want to get rid of money and have a stateless society, a moneyless, stateless, classless society.
They're basically saying that the end stage of human development is a post-scarce society. It's not saying that they want to do that. They're saying that that's what it's going to be like. Hegelian dialectics.
Okay, so according to this quick Google search, it's basically a classless society where community owns major productions, resources are shared, private property is abolished, wealth is distributed based on your needs. I mean, I would kind of agree with that more than capitalism.
Well, that's a description by Marx. Marx did as a description or as a prescription.
Right. Well, I guess I would agree with that part of it.
I mean, if we go by the description sense, I would argue that, in the end, our ideology, so free markets and anarchism, so anarcho-capitalism, would result in people being richer, less poverty, and, people having more abundance. And, more, I would even argue community values as well, because even the state destroys that.
Sure. Yeah, we can agree to disagree.
No, right.
I definitely see where you're getting. I definitely see where you're coming from, though.
I have a really awesome YouTube video that's called "The Impossibility of Socialism," where I go over the economic calculation problem. And when you socialize the means of production, you get rid of prices and private property exchange, you no longer have prices which allow you to coordinate scarce resources to its most value productive route. Without those prices, you're kind of just making an assumption as to where you think these scarce resources all go. So for instance, like when you go to a store, have you ever wondered, like, how does a store know exactly what people want at what quantity, and at what price, right? They know because they look at prices, right? People make exchanges with their private property. Like you go to the store and you buy things and you sell things, people sell things, right? And what arises from that are prices, right? So if I go to the store and I go see something at a store and I buy a bunch, and a lot of people buy out a specific product, it kind of sends a signal to the owner that a lot of people want that product. If a lot of people don't buy that product, it sends a signal to the owner that not a lot of people want it. And then they price accordingly.
It also gives a signal to consumers to refrain or to restrain, purchasing a good, depending on whether it's economically efficient for them.
Yeah. For instance, like if you look at like a diamond versus like water, water is like really in abundance, so it's not really that expensive. But diamonds are kind of rare. So because of that, your average person doesn't just go and buy diamonds. So those prices sort of signal to you that like if you really want this thing, you got to bid up other people who really want this thing, and because of that, the price goes up because a lot of people want that thing, and there's a very few amount of it to go around. But with the state, they don't really have, when you abolish private property and the means of production, and you get rid of those trades, and you get rid of those prices, think of it like this. Let's say let's say me and you, bro, we hang out together and we try to build a house, me and Oxy, right? But all the tools like associated with it, like hammers, the bricks, the cement, the wood, and all of that stuff, we have no idea what the price for it is. Like, we're just gonna build a house base, and we're gonna try to sell that house for more than what we spent on it without knowing the prices of all the things that are associated with building a house. It's gonna be extremely hard, if not almost impossible, for us to make that decision without overspending or underspending, or there's going to be a lot of waste because you don't have the information that allows you to make the best decisions, which are what prices are for. The state doesn't really make its decisions based on prices. They make their decisions based on where they think the best use of each good product is. So they're basically like me and you trying to build a house without prices. We put things where we think it's going to be best used, but without those price signals, we don't really know.
Well, that's to be price signals based on consumer demand, of course.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Because you can't have price signals without people buying and selling stuff that they own.
Yeah, because if I'm the government and I set the price at like 1 million for one water bottle, or like 2 cents for one water bottle, that's not really gonna solve the economic calculation problem, because it's not really based on consumer demand. It's based on an arbitrary price rather than a true price.
Yeah, exactly. When stores, even like gigantic stores like a Walmart, a lot of people will be like, oh, but they plan internally and they're gigantic, so that's basically, they solve the ECP. But the issue with that is that they don't get their stuff for free. They buy their stuff, and they make their decision off of external factor prices too, which allows them to sort of make a decision. So like they look at how other people are buying, what other people are buying. So like, for instance, they don't just sell the Walmart iPhone or the iPhone at their store, or the PlayStation for whatever they want to sell it for. They look at what other people are selling it for, and then they make this decision based on that.
And then reflect it based on consumer demand.
Mm-hmm. Whatever makes them the most profit, ideally.
Anyway.
Oxy, are you there?
KingSithis.
What's up?
KingSithis.
What's up?
Are you gonna convert to Islam?
No.
Well, not even Sunni or Shia.
Are you Islamic?
No. Have you checked the side chat about that thing I sent? That's proof of Islam.
Hold on, let me see.
So you guys just sit here and talk capitalism all night, or what?
Yep.
I just talk about random shit.
Wait, you said yes. I just don't see how this is such a interesting topic. Like, I don't know. Maybe because I don't know much about it. All night is crazy.
If I'd be you, if you are genuinely interested in, like, you know, at least observing our point of view, just read our literature. Like, gathering information from, you know, random disco debates, although you might get a slight insight into our ideology, our beliefs, it's generally not the most effective way. So if I were to recommend something, like, I don't know, read Man Economy, State and Market by Murray Rothbard and something.
Right. Yeah, like I said, I'm for things being divided equally amongst people. So I don't think capitalism will probably be my ideology. So whatever belief system is, everyone gets a fair shot. Everyone gets equality. No man amongst another man. Oh, I'm sorry. No man on top of another man. Everyone's equal. I'm for.
But all humans are not equal. So if you want them to be equal,
in the end, most people do want a society that, you know, leads to, you know, better outcomes, an ethical and a, you know, better outcome society.
Right.
I think most people.
Why would I want to live in a world where one man is just dominating everything because he's rich? Like, that's not really fair. It's not really humane either. I think things should just be more equal, you know?
Yeah, that's basically how the state functions.
that is true. I mean, it is one man sort of controlling everyone.
Right, and this is coming from a future billionaire. So if I'm telling you this, then perhaps you guys have to, you know,
shit, bro,
let it marinate for a second.
By future billionaire, are you implying that we're gonna experience, like, hyperinflation or something?
Oh no! Inflation.
Then technically, we'll all be billionaires at that point.
Bound to happen.
Well, yeah. But if you're a future billionaire, by the same logic, me and KingSithis are a future billionaire.
Yeah, bro. What do you got to say about that?
I didn't really hear what he just said, but sure, I disagree.
Are you plowing snow?
Yeah, what are you up to over there?
Lifting some heavy shit. Lifting heavy shit. Yeah, that's why.
Oh.
But I think billionaire. Well, if I can become a millionaire, I certainly will become a billionaire. And I know for a guaranteed fact I'm going to be a millionaire within probably the next 2 or 3 years. So I'm in an odd situation because I don't want to fuck anyone over. I don't want anyone to be the ones to die as a result of my, you know, financial gain.
Sorry.
I think I can do it. There's a saying that you cannot become a billionaire without fucking someone over. I want to see if that's true, because I don't think that's true.
I think the best solution for you is just, like, you know, get in touch with those billionaires and say, hey, come to my private island, you know, we have women, we have drinks, you know, we have everything. And, you know,
yeah.
Just join us.
I would want the private. I want to enjoy those things by myself. You know, who would want to invite everyone else and then someone else snitches and then blows up the entire operation? Like, it's not worth it.
Well, snitching.
Those types of things. It's better to enjoy them by yourself, not with other people, because other people are liabilities. You know.
Hey, but, like, you know, you can easily blackmail those people. You're like,
true.
Yeah.
But then you get enemies.
Yeah, blackmail is based.
Not if you ally with Israel, of course.
Oh, good point. But then you can never turn on Israel. I don't want to answer to no one.
Well, that's to say you don't control Israel. And you fake a DNA test unless you are, like, partially Jewish, and then boom, you can say oy vey.
Yeah, that's too many technicalities. No, I don't want anything to do with those people, you know. So, and I'm certainly not kissing the wall. So, it's I don't think I'm the right guy for that. But yeah, like I was saying, I think it's doable to achieve it without fucking anyone over. Like it has
yeah,
to.
I mean, if you innovate, if you make a new product, like,
True.
I don't know, if you like, assuming nobody kills you, like, let's just say you develop, a cure for, like, I don't know, for cancer or something. And maybe you
then
could
I'll
do
be
something.
fascinated.
Yeah, that's a problem, though.
There's a lot of inventions that I think of daily that are
Well,
really
maybe
great.
it
That are
could be,
yet to be.
like, an invention that won't get you killed. Like, maybe you invent, like, a hologram, and you can, like, watch pornography with, like, holograms or something. And again, I don't think
I can't
that'd be
wait
very
for that.
useful in the age of, like, artificial intelligence. But who knows? Could be like in Fallout New Vegas, where, like, those holograms shoot lasers.
If I was to invent something that I feel like would generate billions, gun to the back of my head, I gotta think of something a lot. Let me give a second to sit on that for a minute.
Well, there's a lot of people going through hair loss, and, well, there's hair loss drugs like finasteride, dutasteride, minoxidil, and, they can be quite effective. But you could create, like, a hair loss drug that you take one pill and boom, you'd never have hair loss in your
Yeah, but the hair industry is already dominated by so many people. I need something a bit different.
Oh, that's true.
Wait a
That's true.
second.
It's cartelized. Yeah.
Something that everyone needs that's yet to be invented.
Like something that people need or, like, people would want, but it's not dominated by cartels. So pharmaceuticals are out of the picture. You could create a new religion.
STEM.
You could be like the Scientology 2.0.
I can't do that.
I think we should create an Ancap religion.
Can't do that one. Yeah.
I want to create an Ancap religion. Call it Praxianism.
What about? I think what we really need, and I was once thinking of doing this, create, like, the best ever mayonnaise. Like, create a masterpiece of mayonnaise. Start selling it.
Nah, there's way too many mayonnaises out.
Yeah, a lot of mayonnaise in the West is like slop. Like, I usually get my mayonnaise from, like, Eastern Europe or Mexico. I, like, I can't really be asked, to pay that much money for it. I mean, the Ukraine war's probably going to end eventually, so you could probably invest into, like, rebuilding effort in Ukraine or whatever. Like, rebuilding the infrastructure. And again, that requires a lot of capital.
Yeah, let's see how I'm going for. Give me a second. I'm still thinking. Excuse me.
Gotta find some people to debate, bro. What's up with these people, bro?
Sithis, would you ever adopt a monkey?
Absolutely not.
Fair enough.
Fuck
What
animals.
if it was like one of those, like, cool monkeys that wouldn't rip your head off?
I don't even really. I don't think I would want one at all.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I wouldn't want to take care of it.
Okay, I think I got an invention, and I don't think I've ever seen this before. Okay, it's gonna be a bubble gum, but it's a certain type of gum. This gum will have an amount of mouthwash in it. So when you chew it, it dissolves into a mouthwash, and you can swish it around and spit it out. Significantly more refresher.
I would buy that. I'd buy that.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone create that. Like, it's literally gum with mouthwash inside, only a little bit. Just enough to switch it around and kill your bad breath.
I mean, it would also
And you won't have to
know,
brush your
like-
teeth ever again.
No, you definitely will, because mouthwash can only do so much.
Well, it would be more effective in mouthwash, because, like, with gum, you'd be able to, like, you know, get into the nooks and crannies. It wouldn't be as effective as brushing your teeth. So it would be...
Yeah, no way. It's only something that you can use on the go. If you forgot to brush your teeth that morning or didn't have time, you just need, you know,
Yeah.
quick little...
I'd say it saves time. Like, instead of brushing twice a day, you can brush, like, once a day, or even, like, once every 2 days, with something like that. Potentially.
What's some of the greatest inventions you guys think?
The computer.
And like in the last 10 to 15 years.
Bitcoin.
I don't think Bitcoin came out 15 years ago. Probably more like 20, 25.
Fidget spinners.
I'll tell you one. There was this guy on Shark Tank who they created this product, and it's fucking genius. I don't know. No one else thought of it. I wonder where it is today. It's like this little candy that you eat, and before they have different flavors of the candy. For example, cherry, lemon, watermelon. And let's say you're getting ready to eat something that doesn't taste as good. You would eat this candy, and it's going to make the taste of whatever you're about to eat taste like the flavor that you chose. So let's say you're going to eat some disgusting stew, and you wanted it to taste like watermelon. You eat the little tiny watermelon thing, and then whatever you're about to eat will taste like watermelon. It's fucking amazing.
That's actually not bad.
Genius.
I
wonder where it's at today. I'm pretty sure it's like millions. Genius.
I'm obsessed with like looking at the TikTok shop.
Yeah, bro, go get the cocoa musk off the TikTok shop, bro. I'm back.
I love looking at the TikTok shop.
Yeah, bro, go get the cocoa musk. That's the
Cocoa what?
one that Jordan was wearing. Cocoa musk. Or get the Nero gum, so it helps you in debates.
Yeah.
I'm lifting up all these heavy ass waters, bro. Holy fuck. Shots fired from the other side. I had to build my ring.
Mandibles.
I couldn't make no bell.
Mandibles. Do you have a recess mandible?
Oh, wait. I'm not looking at it. Is the guy's name who just joined Mandibles? Like, is this a profile picture an alien?
Yeah.
It's a praying mantis.
That guy. Oh, yeah. Oh, according to my calculations. See, this is exactly why I hate liberals. It's like...
I'm not even liberal.
Have to get all... Like, because that's all, that's literally what a liberal would do. It's like, oh, no, according to my calculations, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's like,
no, I was just clarifying. Geesh.
Why is your?
Someone asked me a question.
Oh wait, that was you who said that? I thought that was Mandibles who said it was an alien. My bad.
No, I just said it was a praying mantis.
Oh, a mantis. Oh, I thought you were Mandibles. Well, never mind. I forgive you.
Isn't okay. Why are you called, like, why is your username mandibles? Because like the mandible is like a part of the bone. What's a part of the face, like the lower jaw? Well, let me find it.
Yeah, mandible is also like masticating mandibles that a mantis has. They're incredibly powerful, like bite force, and I think it's just a cool. I like the way it feels in my mouth when I say mandibles, you know?
Where you at?
Mandible.
I want to know. Look at my one brain.
Mandible.
I got hella water to fill though.
This picture came from a friend of mine. Sent me a match. We did a matching picture profile.
What do you think about Ancap?
A while ago. We talked about it. I mean, I don't like capitalism inherently, so Ancap is kind of.
What's wrong with capitalism, man?
I'd rather have people have their basic needs provided.
Agreed. See, this is the first thing we agree on.
I agree.
I mean, I think
we agree on a lot. You're just a fucking idiot, Oxy.
I agree.
I mean, I think most people I mean, I think most people agree that, like most ideologies agree that, the end goal, is to, improve the standard of living and at least have a more ethical society. The two things are a more ethical society and better standards of living. That's how I would define it. At least the two ends.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Now, how we get there?
We need to everyone needs to become a communistic socialist. That's what we need
Disgusting.
To do.
Socialism, respectfully, is the worst way to get prosperity.
Socialism is giving back.
The issue with socialism is that in order for
really cool, but it is just you'd have to be not anarchist. What the fuck am I trying to think? Authoritarian. It would have to be a worldwide authoritarian communist government. You can't have like 3 communist governments, which like.
I mean, you can technically.
Theoretically, you
cooperatives. No, wooden cooperatives exist. They're quite a popular form of,
But under anarcho-capitalism, you're allowed to practice communism so long as you're not initiating force against anyone.
That's why I don't really like to associate with the term anarcho-capitalism, because it gives people this false, conception that, oh yeah, these guys support corporations. When, I would prefer to call myself as a market anarchist or like a Raffardian. Because, I'm not really, saying people can't form, worker cooperatives, so, socialist means of production or communes.
And fuck Bill Gates.
I don't disagree with you on that. My issue is just the state. My issue is the state. I don't like the state. I don't really care how people organize, personally.
No.
It's silly when I hear that, because like the state is kind of corrupt. More than anything, it's not governments, it's corporations that are more corrupt than the state. Because like the state allows a lot of shit to happen, but it's mainly like high-level officials who have the power to do that. Most people who actually work within the state don't have like the power to do that. Most people who work in the state are just like citizens who also work for the government. They're just people, right?
Well,
what's actually so bad about the state? Like, why do we hate the state?
Because it's unethical and it's usually inefficient.
Also, the state is the arm
for people and it aggresses on people. And it's inefficient because it suffers under the economic calculation problem.
How does it aggress on people?
Through taxation, through banning goods or services.
Yeah, but those things bring me benefits.
Eminent domain.
Taxation is
eminent domain, violations of property.
But eminent domain is that's one law.
I'm continuing.
Well, taxation is theft, fundamentally.
Limited liability laws.
I agree with that. Taxation is theft.
Why is it theft?
Hold on. Let me expound.
You don't have a choice.
If it's not going to an actual benefit, then it isn't theft. For example, Americans, we pay too much money in taxes and we don't see the benefit of our taxpayer dollars being anywhere, except for a genocide between Israel and Palestine.
So
I disagree. I don't care who's benefiting. If I don't want my money, if I don't want my money taken, then can I finish my statement, please?
I didn't even get to finish mine.
So
let's chill.
What the fuck? Yeah, go ahead. The floor is yours, man. The floor is yours.
No, you said I interrupted you, so I'll let you finish.
So don't play this game.
I made my point.
Don't play this
Okay, so I'm not trying to. I'm trying to be nice. I'm just saying that fundamentally, the state does not ask you permission for even if the thing that is going, whatever it's going to, it may benefit somebody or you or any other person. Doesn't matter. Fundamentally, the state doesn't ask your permission when they take your money.
Correct. It wouldn't be a state if it had to ask.
May I ask you a question?
You're forced the money out of your pocket. Well, because it's your property.
No, you couldn't have property if the state didn't cultivate the correct social conditions for you to have it.
That's not true.
And of course, you can only have government if you have some collection of taxation. So your freedom actually presupposes taxation.
That's not true. You could be free without a state. Really? You don't have to have. You can have property without a state.
Name one time.
So, for instance, let's say you're on an island and I own a state.
No. He's asking for historical examples.
Ooh, island.
Well, I'm just saying, just fundamentally.
Let me an example.
Yeah, so for instance, let's say you're on an island
Zomia, which lasted like...
No, I want a historical example. I don't want you to give me a hypothetical if I go to an island. I want a historical example of people over a considerable amount of time living in proximity to one another with limited resources, them not forming a state.
Okay.
That would be Zomia. My father best
Zomnia.
Zomia, which...
And medieval Iceland, too.
Like 2,000 years. With
what was that?
Zomia, which lasted 2,000 years, and had like... There's some estimates of a population being 100 million at one point.
Zomia.
As well as medieval Iceland lasted for a while, too.
I can't find
I can also...
Zomia.
Wait, King, may I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you don't want your tax dollars going anywhere, right? You shouldn't be forced to pay it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If there was 100% guarantee fact that your taxpayer dollars is going to the benefit of the masses, and what I mean by that, benefits in healthcare, dental care, things like that, the real good stuff.
I don't care.
Still feel that way?
Yep, I would still feel this way.
By the Oxy, just to comment on your...
Interesting.
Just because something benefits from, just because someone benefits from the tax doesn't make it okay for them to rob me.
Yeah, and
do you believe in God? One more question. Do you believe in God?
No. I think Anthony was going to say something, so go ahead.
I was going to elaborate on Oxy's
point. Okay. Then I get where he's coming from. Because obviously a godless person wouldn't care about that.
So, the point was that, like, you believe taxation is theft until, if it's not going toward good causes. So, using that logic, if I were to steal, $5 from your wallet and then, give it, to some, like, starving kid, would that then, be, theft?
I would be upset that you stole $5 from me. It would still be theft, but I feel like the outcome outweighs the detriment, so I would move on. And I would be...
What if it's your house?
That would be great.
So, like, for instance, let's say, say you spent...
I can tell you the difference.
Oh, no, wait, let me finish this. I'll let you go after me real quick, but I was just going to give a quick hypothetical. Let's say you have a house that you spent 20 years trying to build up, and the government came up to you and they're like, hey, we're going to use eminent domain to take this house and give it to 20 other people who would be better off using your house that you spent all these years building up. Would that then make it okay because those people are benefiting?
That's an insane hypothetical, and I'm trying to really put myself in those shoes. Would they compensate me for my house?
No, they're not compensating it. No.
Okay, so they're simply taking my property.
Yes.
Is that legal?
In their government, yes. In the hypothetical government, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm about to Jordan Peterson you. I wouldn't be in that situation. I wouldn't be living in a government like that. I wouldn't be in that situation to begin with.
That's respectfully, that's not answer to my hypothetical. In the hypothetical, you can't just leave.
It is, because I would never be in that position.
Well, that's not an argument against my hypothetical. You're dodging the hypothetical.
So the difference between
I can't answer that hypothetical. I'm sorry.
The difference between the ad hoc theft and taxation is that the state has the authority to take money from you, whereas just a random private individual doesn't.
So by the same logic, the Holocaust was like justified.
No, not necessarily.
So basically, if what you're saying,
I mean, I happen to not particularly care, but no, that the fact that there is authority doesn't mean that it's absolute, unlimited, sovereign authority.
Well, yeah, but you just said
if you have authority, then you're allowed to take.
No, when I say authority, I don't mean power. I mean the legitimate exercise. Also,
I feel like that analogy.
Yeah, you just said that. Like basically, your logic is. Wait, whoever's making that noise, Oxy, do you mind muting yourself when you're making that noise?
I know what he's on about.
No, I was just telling Oxy to mute himself because he was making a lot of noise. Sorry.
Holy fuck.
So that would be my response: is that the state actually has the authority to do it, which just means they have a legitimate capacity to coerce people to a certain limit.
The thing is, you said that has just authority, but isn't that circular logic? You're saying it has just authority because it's just authority. You have to base on something.
No, it has just authority because it fulfills certain necessary preconditions for the kind of life that human beings want to live. And one of those involves, the kind of stability that law provides, kind of knowledge about future events. You know, the law secures us a kind of general, you know, strong predictions about what's going to happen in the future. And that's obviously a desirous thing to have as a human being. A state, for instance, that just indiscriminately kills its own people doesn't have authority, because that's obviously deleterious to the very purpose of having a state.
Okay, so just to like, you know, get you to like elaborate, would you say, okay, so you said previously, you know, you would allow, you know, stealing from Paul to, you know, like, you know, help, you know, whatever, like the needy, and that's the responsibility of a state. Would you take that logic to, like, you know, human experimentation? Oh, sorry, but that's literally taxation. You're saying that taxation exists so that we can fund these essential services, or quote unquote essential services. So would you say, what I'm saying is, would you take that to the logic of human experimentation?
No.
Ben, where'd you draw the line? It makes no sense.
I mean, that's kind of like a very childish way of arguing. Which
this is not childish. Literally, Greek philosophers used this type of tactic. Every single philosopher knows what a reductio ad absurdum is. Do you know what a reductio ad absurdum is?
Yeah, what you're doing is not reductio ad absurdum. What you're doing is asking me to draw a line between every particular instance of a general rule.
I'm not asking you to draw a line necessarily.
You are. I mean, you're saying, where do you draw the line? That's what you're asking me.
Well, the reason I said that is because you'd have to.
I don't think that reduces to absurdity. The fact that there's a grey area.
And how would you say that's a grey area?
Well, the fact that, like, you know, you could say, well, some things are essential. Like, it's pretty obvious that one essential thing for a harmonious social condition is that people aren't, like, creating nuclear bombs in their backyard. So I would say that's essential, and I would say that's a pretty concrete case. I don't think there's any ambiguity there. But then you could argue maybe experimentation in certain cases might be, but it would really be difficult to draw the line there, because is it essential or is it just very beneficial? Those are two different things. And I wouldn't know necessarily where to draw the line on that. That's not a reductio. That's just...
Okay.
Well, you don't have a... I think the argument he's trying to make is that you don't have a consistent standard. You're just kind of going off of how you feel. You're basically being like, I think it's okay in this case. I think it's okay in that case. I think it's okay. But you don't have like a line.
That's what having a standard means. It doesn't mean that you can...
No, I'm not saying you don't have a standard. I'm saying you have an arbitrary standard. It's not set based on a principle.
No,
like
So let's get back. So let's use, like, would you say that, you know, taxing people to, like, you know, fund, you know, not cancer research, but, like, you know, cancer patients, you know, their treatment, you know, taxation would be just to, like, you know, for example, fund that, you know, those cancer patients' treatment. Would you say that's correct, or would you say that's just?
It would depend on, you know, for instance, how many people are getting cancer. You know, like if 50% of the population is getting cancer, then I think that could be a good argument that it's absolutely necessary that you tax people for that. But if, for instance, only like 0.001% of the population are getting cancer, I don't know if that's worth funding, because
I think that's an inconsistent view. I think if it's essential to life, and the government has a responsibility.
No, it's essential. I mean, when I say essential, I mean essential to the general well-being. I don't mean essential to a particular individual.
Oh, can I give a hypothetical real quick?
Is there any objective measurement of, like, you know, you could do of well-being?
I have objective standards, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna completely separate perfectly every single instance of a grey area.
Well, then that would make it arbitrary.
Gray areas, but I think that's an inconsistency, not exactly a grey area. I mean, let's use an example of a grey area. I mean,
okay, I can use an example. Okay, do you believe that bald men exist?
Yeah.
Okay, do you believe there are men that aren't bald?
Yeah.
And you would believe that there are certain people that are somewhere between those two things, right?
No.
Really?
Or rather,
so
I would.
I have one hair on my head and my
bald. I would agree with you in that sense, but I wouldn't agree that it's bald in the sense that you have a genetic predisposition to baldness.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking if I have one hair on my head, am I bald?
Okay, no, I just misunderstood your question.
Yeah. So if I have one hair on my head, am I bald?
Yeah, I see what you mean. That's the type of example I was thinking of grey area. I was going to do the flashlight example, but yeah, I agree with you mean. I was going to.
So you would agree that the fact that there's a difference that's somewhat hazy between these extremes of bald and not bald, it doesn't mean that these aren't legitimate categories.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I was going to use a similar example. Right. Yeah.
Okay. But we're not.
What you mean?
Okay.
But you would agree that anything between bald and hair, like full hair, would be like an arbitrarily set standard that you sort of put to sort of make, you know.
No, there's no such thing as an arbitrary standard. There's an arbitrary.
Well, between two spectrums, right? One arbitrary standard is when you have a standard between two spectrums, right? And you're somewhere within the middle of that spectrum, and you don't always place it in every situation in that situation. So, for instance, in some situations, you would say it is okay to steal from other people, but in other situations, you would say it's not okay to. It really just depends on how you feel.
I don't think there's anything arbitrary about that.
Well, I mean, it isn't based on a set standard.
There is a set standard because I have a paradigmatic case on either end. I have a paradigmatic case of injustice, which is that I run up to you, point a gun at you, and tell you give me your money so I can fund my coke addiction. That would be a paradigmatic case of theft. And then I have a paradigmatic case of benevolent coercion, which is that you have a necessary entity called the state, which you need in order to have essentially healthy social conditions. And they take money from you and they give it, and there's no corruption, and they give it perfectly to all the essential services that the society requires. And there's never an instance of a state that perfectly fits that paradigmatic case. Okay, but the fact that there is going to be a gray area does not mean that these aren't useful standards to use. These aren't arbitrary standards. What you're asking for
it is arbitrary.
Where do I draw the line in every single particular instance? And that is just like not the way human beings reason. I don't know
we do.
Exact point.
That's how we do.
I don't know because I don't know.
Well, we believe in the non-aggression principle. So in every...
How do you know the difference?
Sorry, go ahead.
How do you know the difference between a bald man and a guy that has hair?
No, the only argument that I'm making is when it comes to ethics, we don't make arbitrary standards because that affects the lives of individuals.
Okay,
so for instance...
No, you're misunderstanding.
No, I'm just saying that...
the difference between a standard and a particular case of a standard.
No, what I was saying is that when it comes to ethics... Hold on, let me finish. When it comes to ethics, we don't choose an arbitrary standard, us libertarians. We choose... Our standard is the non-aggression principle. And anytime that you initiate force against another person without their consent, you're violating the non-aggression principle. And if you don't, well, then you're not. Whereas in your situation, it kind of, whether or not you're benefiting society really depends on how you feel.
Yeah, so does aggression. Aggression also depends on how you feel.
No, it's not. There's a set standard.
Obtained notion of aggression.
There was the initiation of a conflict.
Yeah, that's vague, dude.
It's not vague at all. The initiation of a conflict over scarce means.
If you threaten me, and then I come and kill you when you're not looking, have I aggressed or have you aggressed?
Well, it depends on who initiated the force first. So because the person who threatened
I'm asking you who aggressed.
Yeah, so if the person who threatens you, they're initiating force.
Really? So a threat constitutes aggression?
Yes.
What if a 2-year-old threatens an adult?
Well, children are different. They don't have understanding of their...
Okay, what if a 12-year-old threatens an adult?
Children are different. I'm talking about adults.
Oh, okay. What if an 18-year-old without arms threatens a guy who's 6'7" and has like a big machine gun?
It depends on whether or not he's going to carry out that action.
How could he carry out the action if he doesn't have arms?
I mean,
you
see, the aggression is relative to lots of
an actual aggression. Well, an actual aggression, whether you've actually initiated force against another person, is absolute. Like,
we're asking about initiation because obviously your whole thing is about not initiating aggression, and I'm asking you, and what you were getting at is that, well, my principle has like a clear-cut application in every single instance, and it obviously doesn't, because if you have a disabled guy without arms who's threatening a huge guy who could never conceivably be actually harmed by this other person, I don't think any reasonable person would say that the huge guy has the right, on the pretense of this threat that could never be carried forward, to kill the guy.
Well, it depends on if the person is going to carry it forward. If he's not, then he can't.
They don't have arms.
If he is, then he can.
So, in other words, there are other considerations.
The consideration is whether or not you're initiating force or you're going to initiate force.
Yeah, and that is not clear in every instance. There's always arbitration involved in something like that.
Well, yes, but the standard in itself, whether or not you've initiated an aggression, is not arbitrary at all. It's based on whether you've initiated an aggression or not. If you have initiated an aggression, then you are guilty.
That principle has to consider a lot of different things, and there's always going to be.
Yeah, but again, the principle within itself is not arbitrary. It's based on whether you've initiated.
My whole point was that there's no such thing as an arbitrary principle.
Well, yours is arbitrary because you don't have a set standard.
I do.
You don't.
I do. I gave you a paradigmatic case.
So what is your set standard for violating the property rights of innocence?
Well, that presupposes that I care about that thing called property rights, and I don't. But
Yeah,
my
so
standard... But my standard is the paradigmatic case, which is that a benevolent government takes the absolute minimum amount of money from people necessary in order to have an ideal, harmonious social life.
Okay, so let me put forth a quick hypothetical to see if you're consistent on this. So do you know what a utopia is?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say there's this beautiful, amazing utopia,
yeah.
But there's where it's just unlimited resources and everyone is just living in abundance and everything is beautiful. But the only way to keep this utopia alive is to secretly rape a dog, force somebody to rape a dog in a basement in a weird satanic ritual. Would you say that somebody should be forced to rape that dog?
I don't know. This is not reality, so I don't.
Wait,
I mean, that was sort of my point of human experimentation and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So where's your standard? How does your standard, your non-arbitrary standard, set to this apply to this?
I don't believe that it's necessary that a dog is raped in order for people to have.
Okay, so you would let everybody go back to poverty.
Okay, can you ask me a question, like a counter example to my actual paradigm and not some?
No, it applies to your paradigm, and I'll explain, because you're saying that. Hold on, you're saying that whatever decision that causes the least amount of harm and gives the most prosperity to people through this.
I never said that.
You didn't say that? That is what you said. No. Come on.
Dude, I believe that it's the state's prerogative to send people to die. So I obviously don't believe in harm reduction as my first principle.
You said to lower the amount of taxes, the lowest amount of taxes, while gaining
the minimum amount of taxes.
The minimum amount
in order to have
the minimum amount of taxes, exactly. While giving the most amount of utility to its citizens, correct? Or is that incorrect?
Yeah, but that had nothing to do with harm reduction.
So in this situation, how would your standard apply? Would you say the person should be forced to rape the dog or not be forced to rape the dog?
I don't believe that it's necessary for anybody to rape a dog. My paradigm is based on.
Well, in that situation,
let's use a real example then.
Okay.
Let's just say now, like, you're going to tax someone, and that person resists, taxation. You would say it's correct to, give a state to barge into their house and, shake them out of their money or arrest them. Would you say that's correct?
I mean, I think you should give them adequate warning and you should seek explanation for why.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah. But
if you're asking in the final instance, do I think they have at the end of the road after you've taken the precautions to force them to pay? Yes.
You would say you can use physicality to not entice, but you can use force to get people to give their money away to you. Yes.
To the state, not to me.
Yeah, to the state. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
So using that logic.
Trex. Hey Cam.
Sorry. Using that logic, someone raping a person in the basement to uphold a utopia.
A dog
sort of is like that.
I don't think that's. But I think that forcing taxation is necessary. Given human reality.
Well, in the hypothetical, it is necessary to keep it. Well, in the hypothetical, it is necessary to keep the utopia alive. Okay, if you don't do it, then the utopia will collapse.
Hypotheticals. So,
are you pro-choice or pro-life?
But the
I'd say I'm broadly pro-life.
Wait, so you don't believe in hypotheticals? You don't answer hypotheticals at all?
I answer well, if the hypothetical is addressed to a like something that actually fits in my paradigm, then I will. But
it makes it. How does it not fit in your paradigm? Because it does.
Because my paradigm is not created ex nihilo. My paradigm comes out of basically an analysis.
So you would say no, don't rape the dog and let everyone suffer.
It's not even about a yes or no. It's just it doesn't address my actual worldview.
I know,
so
but I'm just asking you, like, how would you? Would you say
you are willing to force people?
Yeah, because I think that that's necessary.
So you would say, no, don't force everyone, don't rape the dog, even if it means everybody suffers. Is that what you're saying?
No, because I don't believe that raping dogs is necessary for anything.
Well, in the hypothetical.
In the hypothetical situation that how would that be necessary? You'd have to explain.
It's a weird I said in the hypothetical, it's a weird satanic ritual. They did a satanic what?
I was gonna say, but that literally applies to my scenario because it's a real thing. There are people who resist, taxation, and you are using physical force on them.
Yeah.
So
how does that not apply?
But why is rape? You'd have to demonstrate why I should.
Because if you don't do it, it will collapse. The utopia will collapse.
It's a reduction.
Because if the Satan will make it so. Because if you don't do the satanic ritual,
I don't believe in Satan.
But in the hypothetical, he exists.
But why would I base my worldview on a hypothetical?
Listen to me. In the hypothetical, he exists.
Okay.
Okay, so in the hypothetical, you have to make a choice. Either do the ritual, rape the dog, or not rape the dog. What do you do?
I don't know. I'm not prepared to answer.
No, but then you're. How do you know? It seems like you have a very arbitrary standard, or your standard is incapable
because it's based on.
So you're saying you wouldn't rape the dog?
I'm not saying I would do or not do anything.
Well, you got to pick one or the other.
Then why do you think it's necessary to force people to give up their money in taxation?
I think I think that a state is necessary. And I think
raping the dog is necessary.
Money being funded, taken from people forcefully.
Okay, but with a scenario of a dog being raped, of a human being raped in the basements of Polder society, I would argue that's a reduction ad absurdum of the scenario I mentioned. It's very similar. The difference is in severity.
No,
yeah, the stakes are much higher.
Why I think a state is necessary, but I don't know why raping a dog would be necessary for anything.
In the bro, you're not listening. In the hypothetical, it is necessary.
I get in the hypothetical, but
in the hypothetical, it's necessary.
If you don't do it, then Satan will kill everyone.
Yes, because if you don't do it, the devil is gonna blow make it not a utopia anymore, and then everybody's gonna go back to poverty. So it's necessary.
Okay, but what's that got to do with my worldview, though?
We're just wondering whether or not you think it would be necessary to do that.
I don't comment on things that are just so far flung from the human experience.
But you believe in the forceful extraction of resources.
Yeah, and that's a real phenomenon.
Yeah, so
well, raping a dog does happen in real life.
Yeah, but not Satan manifesting and killing everyone if you don't. That's not real.
Well, how about this? Let's say there's a guy with a nuclear bomb and he's going to press the button if you don't rape a dog. And he's going to blow up the city instead. Would that make a difference?
Well, that's an interesting question because that's actually got to do with...
like Al-Qaeda or some shit.
Ethics. And, you could make the argument that a person might actually be obliged to carry out a grotesque order.
Like raping the dog.
Yeah.
So you would have to be... So you're saying, I should be forced to rape the dog?
I don't know. It would depend on a lot of things. I mean, it would depend on... Are there any other options to stop this guy?
Assuming... In the hypothetical, there's no other option. He's saying, I'm going to blow this bitch up unless somebody rapes this dog. And you're lined up, and he says, no, I think Graham, if he does not rape this dog, I am going to blow this. I'm going to press this button and blow up this beautiful utopia.
Do we have reason to believe that he'll keep his word?
Yes.
Yeah, then I guess I would be obliged, yeah.
So you should be forced to rape the dog.
It's not that I should be forced.
Well,
that's completely different.
Wait, do you think you should be forced or no?
Because he didn't need to force me to do anything. Do you understand?
No, I'm asking, but if he was forcing you, would you say you should be forced to rape the dog?
Like I said, if given all other things like predictability about whether he'll keep his word, whether there's any chance that we can stop him, you know, how many people are going to die, questions like that. If you give the most like,
let's say like there's a lot of people. It's like a Coruscant planet. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
just answered. I said I would be obliged. Yeah.
So you should be forced to rape the dog.
It's not that I should be forced. You're slipping from one thing to the other. This guy has broken a moral law by doing that.
No, obviously he's bad for making you rape the dog, but
Yeah, so
you would say you would be obliged. You need to rape a dog. Like somebody must rape the dog, and you would step up and rape it.
Obligation.
Yeah, so you have to rape.
I would
the dog.
do it. Let me just say that. I don't know the context of the scenario.
No, we're just saying like.
Get him to
Brain
do it.
dead.
He seems to be.
No, he's saying
I
that.
volunteer as tribute.
He's saying that he would rape a dog, under the condition that somebody's gonna blow up.
He doesn't need a condition.
A planet.
I don't need a condition. I accept.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Under the condition that what? Someone would blow up a house or something?
If someone would blow up a city.
Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, I'd rape the dog.
No, I mean, we're asking, like, should you be forced to rape the dog?
Yes.
Sheesh.
You don't think so? You think everyone should die in the city instead?
Well, I mean, if I don't want to rape the dog, I shouldn't be forced to.
Dude, this is like, I had a conversation.
Why should everybody have to be subject to your preferences? That's the problem.
Because it's my body, my choice.
Because you just don't want to rape a dog.
Well, no.
I don't want to rape the. Why should I have to rape the dog? I don't want to rape the dog.
Wait, hold on.
Why should we all have to die?
Hold on. I can make this really simple. I can make this easier for everyone in the room. Let's say there's two buttons in front of you, okay? One button does absolutely nothing. You click that button, nothing happens. The other button kills every human being on the entire face of the earth. Which one do you press?
The one that does nothing.
Oh my goodness, you have a brain, dude. Someone was not able to answer that question, bro. They were like pondering and like thinking like, I don't know. Okay, but anyways, now what happens, the only difference now in the next question, the one button still does nothing. The other button, you have to rape a dog, and wait, hold on. Sorry. The first button, you rape a dog, and that's all that happens. The second button, every human being on the entire face of the earth dies.
To comment on that, would you say that, like, let's just say someone does go for raping the dog, would you say, like, you know, it's moral to rape the dog here? I'm not saying whether you...
Yes.
Why would it be moral?
Because I'm preserving in mankind.
Yeah, but you're violating, you know, the dog.
It's not moral it's not moral if you take away the mankind part.
I don't think dogs have rights.
I don't think monkeys do either.
Why should one dog's life trump the life of everyone else?
Well, I don't care. I don't care about the dog. I just don't think I should be forced.
LOL.
Why is your right not to be forced to rape a dog?
Wait, ask me the question, Anthony. First of all, my answer is yes. If you ask me if you're gonna rape me, yeah, my answer is yes.
Fair enough.
Well, because I don't want to rape a dog.
Give me the actual question.
I was actually gonna just say that, ironically.
Get somebody else to rape that dog.
Oh, you weren't even gonna give me an alternative?
The guy only wants you to rape the dog.
I'm not doing it.
Hey, Anthony, you were just gonna ask me if you can rape me?
I mean, if I want to, that's one thing. But if I don't want to do it, I shouldn't have to.
Endlessly?
No.
But we want you to rape the dog, so...
No, I don't think so. I don't agree. Only one time. Sorry.
So you don't think that our want to live should trump your want to not rape the dog?
Wait, I want to make this even easier. Okay, replace the dog with me. I would accept.
I would still say no.
Why would it be rape for?
It wouldn't be rape if you accept.
Okay, wait, I would not accept. And I would volunteer my life as tribute.
Wait, that's a contradiction, though. How can you accept and not accept it?
Okay, hold on, let me clarify real quick. I would be both people in this scenario.
I just love how I'm the crazy one because I say I don't want to rape a dog, and you guys are like looking at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah, you're weird for that. I'm not gonna lie. You should just say yeah.
I'm the crazy guy in the room because I don't want to rape a dog.
We're basically saying it'd be. We aren't saying that, you know,
We're not saying that you want to.
No, I'm the crazy. I'm the odd guy out because I don't want to rape the dog. Whereas you guys are like,
the context.
you wouldn't rape the dog. You wouldn't rape the
no one wants to.
Sithis, you wouldn't rape the dog. What? I would rape that dog in 2 seconds.
To save all. I would. Seriously, if it meant that every human being got to live, I would do that.
And the dog, because the dog also dies.
Oh, hell no! Fuck those. Fuck humanity.
The point is not whether you would or wouldn't do it. It's whether it's moral or not. Moral, as in it's good to do it.
Yeah, it's moral.
I don't think it's moral to force someone to do it if they don't want to.
Well, the guy holding the nuclear bomb, like everyone hostage, has committed the first principle wrong.
I would agree.
Yeah, and 2 wrongs make a right. So what's your point?
Well, 2 wrongs don't make a right, actually.
Yeah, they do.
But isn't it the case that he's kind of holding us all hostage, and us forcing you to do it? Isn't that like self-defense?
In this case, 2 wrongs make a right. By the way, just saying.
I don't think so. No.
So wait, how can 2? If one person gets raped and then I go raped, does that?
No. That I don't think that applies to this system.
That's a false equivalency fallacy.
You just said 2 wrongs make a right.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
why bringing up 2 dudes getting raped, bro? What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, no, because you just said if I rape someone, if someone gets raped and then I go rape someone else, then 2 wrongs make a right. So it was all okay, right?
Nope.
It depends on a situation.
No, we have 2 wrongs though, correct?
Yeah, but I said in this case, and you don't know what we're talking about.
Well, so the principle doesn't apply universally, you're saying?
Correct.
Okay, so it's not a principle.
Okay, it's not a principle.
Okay, so it's just an arbitrary thing you made up.
No.
Okay, I don't. Okay.
In this scenario, 2 wrongs make a right. I don't know what to tell you, bro. You're trying to like make something out of this that is not.
2 wrongs make a right. So if you rape your rapist, that makes it right.
Yep.
All right, base.
In that case, yeah.
Well, I'm actually not against raping your rapist.
Yeah, I think that's fine. To be honest, I think 2 wrongs make it right in that case too.
You're not against raping a rapist?
I'm for that actually.
Yeah, I think that if you're, yeah, I think they should they should be raped, just to feel
like
what it's like. Yeah.
No, infinitely.
Should be raped infinitely.
But they got to be raped in a way they don't want it. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, rape is by definition.
I feel like getting raped not necessarily means it's unwanted.
Well, yeah.
But you know what I mean.
So what are the intrinsic implications of like this scenario?
What scenario?
They're raping the rapist?
The rapist gets raped.
I don't know.
Like, wouldn't you think like maybe they kind of want it a little bit?
Well, you would have to figure out a way to do it.
They don't want it.
You would have to figure out a way to do it in which they don't want it.
Sometimes people do though, like low key.
Okay, then it wouldn't be rape if they wanted.
Yeah, you'd have to. You got to figure out.
Well, I mean, that's not true. There's some people that want that.
No, you can't. No, that's not.
No, trust me. No. Hold on. I'm telling you, there are people who want it. I'm
people have rape fantasy. Okay, if someone with a rape fantasy, like they actually get raped by definition, they don't want the rape. So
I don't think I understand. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, rape by itself is an unconsensual sex. So if you don't want it, that means that yeah.
You can want.
I don't know, man.
Raped. I don't suppose.
How can you?
I don't know.
How in the moment?
No, it's unconsensual. It's unconsensual.
Hold on.
I can explain to you.
Like my girl wants me to. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean.
All right, can we? Do we have to get into the particulars of all this?
I'm explaining to you. The conditions.
Let me not incriminate myself here for a second.
The conditions of being raped are simply non-consent. You can want something and still not consent for that action to occur. Like I can want my lawn mowed, and if someone goes mow my lawn, that doesn't mean like
wait, actually.
The mowing.
Yeah, no, I think I actually agree because like Loki, it's like pretending.
Then you'd be consenting.
You don't consent by wanting something. You consent by expressing agreement.
Yeah, he's not wrong about that.
What if they're like, no,
you're
don't
expressing
do it.
Essentially, you're expressing your will.
Okay. This is not a no means no debate. I'm just saying you can want something and still be an unconsensual thing happening to you.
Like when they tell me no, I just do it.
Okay, well that's.
I'm just kidding.
So for instance, I can actually give an example of what he's saying. So let's say you fall asleep and somebody has sex with you.
That's exactly what I do, bro.
And then somebody has sex with you, and then you wake up, and then the person says, "I'm okay with you."
No.
Can you stop interrupting, please? So
I'm sorry.
And then and then the person goes, "Oh, well, I was okay with you having sex with me." Well, just because afterwards the person said they were okay with it. Huh?
Then I would say it was consensual in that case.
Well, you didn't ask permission.
Okay.
So you didn't know their will.
Yeah, but
all right, this is a weird conversation, bro.
you didn't actually end up contradicting their will because in the end they're like okay with it, whatever.
Your will and your want are two different things, man.
I don't know, bro. That's a tricky conversation, I guess.
Like I can well, hold on. Like I can want like a pizza, and if someone forces a pizza down my throat, did I consent because I wanted it? No.
Weird debate,
well,
Michael.
then if they're forcing it down your throat, you didn't want the pizza.
You're confusing will and want. Those are two different things.
Cameron, I have a question.
Okay.
All right. Would you rape a dog to save an entire village from being blown up?
Wait, what'd you say?
Would you rape a dog in order to save an entire populace inside of a city from being blown up?
No, what the fuck?
So you would just let all of them die?
Yeah, it's not my fault.
But you have the opportunity to, like, save them.
Yeah, we believe in the non-aggression principle.
Well, I think...
I think personally I think it's an aggression to rape a dog, but... I know Cithis doesn't agree, but, like, I wouldn't do that because of that, basically.
Well, libertarian legal theory really posits is that raping, a human or a dog, whatever, to, prevent some, big catastrophe, someone can do that, but it wouldn't be, moral, and you'd be punished for it. That's what we're basically saying.
Well, I would say, it would. What's immoral? What is?
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, I think I agree with you though.
Okay. And another thing is that, like, let's just say, like, if I were to accept that I'm going to rape this human to, prevent a catastrophe, but in libertarian legal theory, you would have to accept restitution in that case. Like, you would have to accept you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, like, I believe in that personally. But I guess we can, because we've been arguing about this point for so long, I'm going to go from a different way of justifying it. And I'll just go from, like, I guess, argumentation ethics, and that's like, would you say that, like, whenever people engage in argumentation, when two or more people engage in argumentation, would you say that they are engaging in a propositional truth-seeking discourse and avoiding physical fighting? Would you say that's true?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would
so
not.
They're trying to resolve a disagreement through reason.
Mm-hmm.
Not always.
Argumentation presupposes self-ownership, because a person has to own themselves to engage in argumentation. So just through argumentation, the way to resolve conflicts assumes someone owns themselves.
Yeah.
And it also assumes the homesteading principle. So if you develop virgin land, then you get to own that land, so long as it's a scarce resource. And that's because for you to argue, you need to use scarce resources like breathing air, standing on land, using a microphone, whatever that may be. So in argumentation, no one can challenge the other right of the other person's right of using our resources. So this implicitly recognizes first use appropriator of an unknown resource, i.e., the person homesteaded that first. Therefore, I would argue, using this justification, anyone who tries to argue against like libertarian legal theory gets into a contradiction.
Okay, well, the first thing I would say is that the analogy between logical propositions and scarce physical resources falls down because logical propositions are infinite, whereas scarce resources are not, by definition. But I would agree that argument implies not only a common aim at seeking the same proposition, it also implies like other discourse ethics, which is good faith, honesty, all that kind of stuff, logical consistency. But that doesn't mean that you can build a society purely on the basis of, and I also agree that those things also imply self-ownership. But self-ownership doesn't mean sovereignty, in my view.
What do you mean by sovereignty?
Sovereignty meaning a kind of ability to, well, how would I put this? You know, this kind of like Lockean or Hobbesian conception of being able to arbitrarily express your will over the world. I don't think that that is what self-ownership means. I think self-ownership actually means the respect and dignity of being heard in good faith. But for instance, I don't think that means that you have the right, just because you have self-ownership, to resist conscription.
Well, I think
legitimate state.
The problem there is with argumentation. Another thing you would have to presuppose for argumentation is purposeful action. You cannot have, purposeful. You cannot, argue unpurposefully unless you're like a robot, which by definition is an argumentation.
Yep, I agree.
So I would argue that from that perspective, you would have sovereignty over yourself.
I don't think purposiveness is equivalent to sovereignty, because your purposiveness is part of actually your concept of being a human being, rather than you being as like a detached subject.
Well, if you're able to purposefully, act, that means you're able to consent and not consent. And through argumentation, we already know self-ownership. So, you own yourself. So someone trying to, homestead you or trying to, i.e., aggress on you is in a contradiction. Because you're trying to own a scarce resource, i.e., yourself, when only you, i.e., the person who controls yourself, owns it.
Well, I don't. Okay, when I talk about self-ownership, what that means to me is that as an individual human being, I have rights that can't be violated. But these rights they belong to a substance of a collective life. They're not something that's not to say that they're culturally relative. I believe they're objective. But I don't actually believe you can be a human being in its fullest sense unless you live in a political community. And a political community involves law, state, history. That's another aspect of it. You can only actually achieve individuality by getting recognition from others as an equal.
Hey guys, I'm gonna head to bed, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah, you take care.
Okay.
Have a good night, everyone.